up, y'all? I'm Aisha and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is actually a part 2 of last week's video, so if you haven't watched part 1, press pause, go take a look at that, and if you're already caught up, stay tuned. Another question, which I feel like is more a comment that's come in, is I don't have any friends. I've definitely said that, so I feel like I feel you, but then I also think of the question, what have I done? What am I doing to be a friend, to make friends, to put myself out there? Right. Now, if I'm staying home in my room and I'm crying, having a pity party, I don't have no friends, all I have Netflix and Handmaid's Tale and Greenleaf, and like all my connection is there, but I'm not reaching out to anybody. Yeah. Hey, can we have coffee? Like, how do you guys feel about that?
My mentor told me something that really resonated with me, and it was, be the sister you always wanted. Or be the friend that you always wanted. So I feel like sometimes we just have to get out there, put ourselves out there, and be the sister to other women that we've always wanted. Because if you just sit inside your house and I have no friends, then you're just gonna have no friends. Yeah. Seriously, that's what's gonna happen. We have to put ourselves out there to make friends at the end of the day. It's not easy. No. It's not easy, because I've been there, and sometimes you don't want to feel rejected, you don't want to get hurt, all those different things, but you'll be surprised when you put yourself out there how many women are yearning for the same thing, or who have said the same thing, because you're not alone. There's always been a time where us three have said we have no friends, but now we're here and we have friends, good friends. Right. So just get out there and make some friends.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I would add to, it's like, you can't really complain if you're not doing anything about it. Right. It's like, people who have businesses, like, oh, I'm not making any sales. Where are you going out there to sell? Are you selling your product? Are you getting out there door to door? Or are you running ads? Like, what are you doing to where you can increase the possibility for closing something or even developing a relationship? And there are many opportunities for you to connect with people. I mean, we are in an age where social media is so huge, and it's a big platform for connection of any kind. So if you have an interest of, I like this or I like that, there's probably a few other people who share that common interest that you can develop a friendship with. It's just about, do you really want friends? If you don't, continue doing what you're doing. Live under that rock, but you will never get if you don't do.
Yeah, that's so good. And you kind of touched on the social media part of it, and I was like, as you guys are speaking, thinking about the friends that I've made through social media, through sliding in someone's DMs, through just commenting on, their picture, or, if they're an artist, their work. And how do you guys feel about sliding in the DMs for friendships? I'm gonna repeat that again because I stuttered. How do y'all feel about sliding in the DMs to possibly start a friendship?
I think go for it, because I've truly made some amazing friends through social media. I'm a part of a girlfriend group, and those women are so amazing. They live in other states, but seriously, we have conversation through our group, and literally we're encouraging, loving one another, and anytime we're in each other's state, we meet up and hang out, and it's like we've been friends forever. It's not like, this is the first time we met. So I would say go for it. And a lot of times it really makes a person's day when you're like, hey, I seen your page and I really like your content, or I really like your hair, I really like your outfit. Those things are like uplifting, and but women live for that. So it's just like, go and do it, because that's what you would want.
Yeah.
So go out and do what you would want for yourself.
But I do think it takes a certain kind of boldness to do that, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, people think that social media has this negative, stigma on it, but it's like, if it was that negative, you wouldn't have a profile on it. So it's kind of like, use what you have to develop the relationship, develop their friendship. And because I connect with people on with health and fitness, they reach out to me on those things, and I've developed a relationship with them through that. I've never met them in person, but they've somehow looked at me as somebody that they trust, and so they will reach out to me, and I help them with whatever they need. So I would use all of the tools that we have presented to, especially now living in this age where we have such a digital connection to each other that we never had before. Even us growing up, social media came out, 2008, where we have had this connection now. So definitely use it. It's not a bad thing. Why not? It might be a little bit easier to do that through your phone than maybe in person. So use that as as a practice
So
to
good.
develop a relationship.
And I think also if you have mutual friends with that person, if someone reaches out to me and maybe I don't know them, but they're like friends with Randy or they're friends with Stephanie, I feel like I'll respond to anyone, but when it comes to like meeting up, I feel a little bit more secure with that, knowing that y'all know them
Mhm.
or someone I trust
Right.
knows them. So I think that's good. Another question that I got was, what do I do when I feel I'm growing apart from a friend? Is that something that you have a conversation? Do you tell them? I feel like it kind of sounds like you're breaking up with them. Like, it's not you. No, it is you. Because I'm growing. So, what would y'all say to that?
For me personally, I probably wouldn't have a conversation unless I really felt led to, because sometimes growth just takes place and you don't really have to go tell that person, hey, I'm growing, so this relationship is just not going to be here, because that's not true. Even as we grow as friends, you can still have that friendship, but it's just going to be a different kind of friendship.
Yeah, the dynamic's going to be
The
different.
dynamic's going to
definitely.
change. So, and that's okay. And there's going to be seasons where you're really great friends, and sometimes you don't talk to each other every day, you don't talk to each other every month, and then there'll be seasons where you do, and that's okay. And so I really wouldn't have that conversation, because I feel like it could be very awkward, and your friend can take it any way they want to. I don't know
Right.
how, but I know I'd be like, okay, that's a little weird, that's a little off, but all right.
And what if they don't feel that they're growing apart from you? Like, I think you were talking about that.
Yeah, because if I was on the receiving end of that conversation, I would be really offended, because it would make me think that you think you're better than me. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean I'm not growing? I'm growing too. It could cause some more tension, and that relationship could be severed, a bridge burned. Like, even if you wanted to part ways, it's not going to be in a good way. And two, it's like if you feel that you are growing, I wouldn't even call it growing apart. It's more like I'm just moving in this direction. Encourage your friend to come with you. Like, hey, this is the things that I'm experiencing. How do you feel about this? And see where they're at. If they choose not to go along for the ride with you, be like, well, this is where I'm going. I'm not going to change or slow down my speed. Either you increase your speed with me, go with the traffic, or you switch lanes. And as simple as that, you know. But you don't have to sever a relationship because you feel that you're growing apart. It's never an apart. It's more of just, you come with me or not, but I will love you, and we'll keep it at that.
I like that. And I feel like for me in the past, like I get in panic mode when it's someone that I've been so close with and we just click and we vibe, and then it shifts. I'm like, does this mean this relationship is done? Instead of like what Randy was saying, just embracing. And this season, our dynamic is a bit different. And just because it's here now doesn't mean it can't go back or even better to what it was. So I think that's really good. So y'all, want to wrap up with this last question. Someone asked me, what do you do when you're chilling at home and you start scrolling on Instagram and you see that your friends are out having a good time without you? Have y'all been there? I've been there, and I've been salty about it. How do I confront them? What do I say? What do I do? Because I feel like you're excluding me. Good looking on the invite. I didn't get invited. What y'all got to say about that?
I would say self-reflect in that moment, because we've all been there. But it's so easy to pick up your phone and text that person out of emotion, and I feel like that's something you shouldn't do, because if you're going to say all this stuff out of emotion, expect for somebody else to come back with a lot of emotion as well.
That's good.
And so I know a lot of women will be like, I'm not afraid to say anything, I'll say what I want to say. Okay, but be ready for that other person to say whatever they want to say back to you. And it's really not worth it. You don't want that conversation or that argument or tension with the friend that you love. And that's the biggest thing. These are the people that love you and that care for you. And so when you're reflecting, you have to remember that. Are they really intentionally trying to leave me out? Because 9 times out of 10, they're really not trying to leave you out, because these are friends who care and love for you. And so I would just say self-reflect, and don't lead or have conversation out of the insecurities that you're feeling inside. Because we're women, we all have insecurities, especially when it comes to our friends and feeling left out or not, being a part of something. But most of the time, it's not intentionally why you're not there. And I wouldn't want to even say you're being left out, because sometimes It can just be like, hey, let's go out to eat because you're with that person.
Because it's convenient. Because
Yeah,
they're right next to each other.
exactly. It's convenient versus them just saying like, no, we're not going to invite Aisha because that conversation probably never happened.
Yeah.
But then you start thinking in your head that it happened.
Right.
Yeah.
And you start assuming things.
Ooh, those thoughts.
You start
for
assuming
sure.
things, and when you assume stuff, it makes you look really silly.
Mm-hmm.
Because then now you go confront that person, blah blah blah, and they're like, "That's not even how I thought about you at all." And so now you kind of feel like,
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Right.
So I would just say the biggest thing: self-reflection before you have a conversation. Conversations are healthy. You want to communicate, but if you're going to have that conversation, make sure it's coming from a better place than just emotion.
Just being in the heat of the moment, which is hard because when you see something, you like text them like, oh, for real, y'all didn't invite me. Like, I see how it is. Guess we not really friends.
Right.
But if I just, like you said, took that moment, like, no, let me think. These are my girls. We were just chilling. And Steph, earlier you were talking about FOMO, and I would just love for you to just share that.
So like I would, in addition to what Randy was saying about that reflecting moment, think about when you're looking at your friends out having a good time, like did you really want to go anyway? Or are you just thinking about, I just gotta go so I can maintain a relationship with these people? And that's not healthy. And then two, it's kind of like if you went, you probably would have wished you were back at home anyway, because as you grow, you may not want to do certain things, and that's okay. You know, I know in this age, I love my bed. I would rather curl up with a nice book and just read and go to sleep than go out to, you know, do whatever. So that fear of missing out is probably the key point there. And then two, you know, people talk about, you know, I'd rather have that one good friend. So you want the quality friends versus as many friends. But if you go deeper into that, look at the quality of that one-on-one relationship that you have with those friends. So it's like, am I defining my friendship with these people off of the amount of time, so the quantity of time that I'm spending with them? Or can I rest and be assured that the quality of this relationship is solid, whether I'm with them or not with them? So it's kind of like, am I acting this way out of, like how Randy was saying, emotions, or am I going off of the actual factuals that these are my girls, these are my people? It was probably an oversight. I don't even want to go anyway. At the end of the day, I don't.
Keep
that
it
means
real.
I gotta get dressed. I gotta put eyebrows on. I gotta do something to this. So I gotta lay it down. Do I gotta put my, you know, silk wrap on? What do I gotta do? Like that takes work. Like, do I really want to go anyway, or is it just I have to maintain the relationship? I'd rather go with the actual factuals that these people are for me. If not, then you're gonna send that text. Oh, I feel that this was super messed up. You would invite me, or you'll do a passive aggressive post on social media, and that probably gets you into more trouble than just taking a moment and then talking about it later if it truly bothered you. After that self-assessment, and we definitely don't want to do anything passive aggressive because that might actually sever that relationship than actually cultivate a healthy one.
Yeah, because the petty bone will try to creep up, but you gotta fight it. You gotta bind
Fight it off. if you have to write it down, write it up, burn it, delete it, whatever you gotta do, but do not keep it there and let it fester in the air.
I can't tell you how many times I typed up stuff and I was like,
delete. Or you posted for like 3 minutes and you like,
that ain't right. I actually did that a few days ago. I deleted it. Y'all didn't see it. Thank God.
It's not worth it. And sometimes that conversation isn't even necessary after you self-reflect. Because it's like, this is so silly.
Yeah, like that's not true.
Yeah, this is
they love me, I love them. That's just, I didn't want to go in the first place.
But in the moment you're looking at that, you're like,
wow.
You're just thinking like, what about me? Like, I feel like it could come from a genuine place, and then your mind just goes on this rabbit trail. Like, see, they don't really love me. They're not for me. Maybe they be talking behind my back and just all this stuff. But yeah,
and that's why it takes a little bit, you know, maturity to be like, you know, I'm gonna take a moment. And anything, doesn't have to be in this situation, but if you're feeling all this emotion, and our emotions are valid because that's how we feel, and they should be respected. However, we don't have to act in them. You know, we should, you know, kind of come down from that, have some time. What is it that I'm actually feeling? And then process that, and then address it if it still needs to be addressed. But half the time, it probably doesn't. And then your friends will probably be all right with it.
I think it's good to like practice pressing pause in those moments when you see something, or you, like Randy was saying, you make an assumption about something, because 9 times out of 10 you're probably wrong.
But yeah, honestly, I did intentionally not invite someone to a party in the 10th grade.
10th grade though. And I think something that I believe is going to be a recurring theme for these friendship videos is maturity, because I talked about that last week, and it takes a mature person to pause and reflect. It takes a mature person to have a conversation. It takes a mature person to be open to a new friendship, to be open to the possibility of, yeah, maybe this person hurt me, and this person hurt me, and the last person hurt me, but I believe that God has a dope friend for me. I believe that God has a sister for me. I believe that I'm worthy of a good friend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I've just been loving hanging on the couch, talking with my friends. I hope you've enjoyed it too. If we were saying things that you can relate to, that you're like, yes, girl, I feel you, been there, did that, comment, share, let me know. And if there's something that you have a different perspective on, comment, share, message me. I would like to know. They would like to know. So make sure you comment,
Like,
and subscribe.
and we'll see y'all next week.